So we're going to talk about what meditation is, how to practice it, and how to utilize it in your day-to-day business. Or not day-to-day business, but your day-to-day life, how to improve your relationships, how to enrich your job performance, or if you're seeking a job, or even if you're seeking abundance in your life, or wealth, or whatever the goal may be, meditation can infuse all those qualities in your life and make your life richer. Meditation is really focusing your attention on a particular subject, sound, or object. Let's give an example. If you're reading a book, you're meditating, but you're just doing it unconsciously. If you're reading, or if you're reading something on the computer and you're enthralled in it and you're encased in it, you're really essentially meditating. If you're with your child, or if a mother is with their parent or elderly person, and you are so engrossed in that particular moment and you've lost focus of your attention, you're essentially meditating. So it's really something that we do every day. We just do it unconsciously and we're not aware of it. Now, what I do, what Tracy Quantum is this is not about an Eastern philosophy. This is pretty much an augmentation of what meditation is, and really bringing this into today's economy and the world market in today's environment. And especially this is very important for Georgia Transplant Foundation, and that's why I'm here, because I'm very passionate about Georgia Transplant. With the Georgia Transplant Foundation, just in general, it's one of the largest organizations within the state of Georgia itself as a resource that provides financial assistance, education, and also scholarships for so many esteemed individuals that are dealing with so many issues as it relates to transplant. There was a report that just recently came out by a Harvard psychologist, which is Bernard Hotzel. He just stated that scientists says that meditators, research has reported that people who meditate for about 30 minutes a day for 8 weeks had measurable changes in gray matter density in parts of the brain associated with memory, sense of self, empathy, and stress. The MRI brain scans taken before and after the participants' meditation regimen found increased gray matter in the hippocampus, and an area important for learning and memory. The images also showed a reduction of gray matter in the amygdala, a region connected to anxiety and stress. Now, the control group that did not practice meditation showed no such changes. This is huge. The reason this is huge, because when you're dealing with depression, anxiety, or fear, the report just shows there that if you can meditate, whether it's for 30 minutes a day, that it has an increase, well, you can call it sustainability, but an improvement within your brain, and that you can deal with more. Now, scientists have said that we think over 65 to 75,000 thoughts a day, but no one knows. Trust me, we think more thoughts than that a day. But if we're thinking that many thoughts a day, how many of those thoughts are negative thoughts? And how many of those thoughts are positive thoughts? And also, if those thoughts are in your brain, think what type of chemical reactions that has happened to your body. Because your brain is extremely powerful. See, every essential issue that I believe that a person goes through in today's world has to come back to the individual. Because it all is through the prism of the person's eyes, how you perceive the situation. You can ask someone else how the cloud looks to them. They can look in the sky. One person's going to say it looks one way, and another person's going to say it looks a totally different way. But so it comes back into how it's being filtered through that person's inner vision, whether it's the brain or the heart. But again, I want to address the transplant organ donors, or even recipients of those of a transplant. You're just waiting. The feelings, the anxiety, the depression is overwhelming. And let me just relate an issue, and this is not even relation, because there's no way that you can relate to an organ donor unless you've been there. But, my twin brother, Trevin Dyson, or Drake Daniel, who's a famous recording artist out of Europe, died. And it was the most difficult thing I had ever dealt with in my entire life. But when he died, he died from AIDS. I went through a complete state of depression. I was very suicidal, and I did not have a will to live anymore. Life was pretty much useless in my standpoint. My family could not console me. My friends could not console me. And I had nowhere, seemingly I thought, nowhere to go. And at that time, I sought refuge with a meditation expert that was Jonathan Parker at the time, who really showed me how to meditate and how to still my mind. And even when my brother was ill, he meditated, and it really helped him through his illness. But at that time, I was so distraught and so depressed over what was going on, I couldn't even conceive of trying to meditate. But after going through meditation and learning the process of meditation and following it and doing it on a daily basis, I regained a sense of normalcy, of loving myself without any conditions, loving who I am, and not letting anyone else determine who I am and what I am. And that improved my health. I had gained excess weight. I know I look the way I do look right now, but I had gained at least, I would say, 35 to 40 pounds. I was not the same person. When you looked at me, you can tell I was a deeply depressed person. Yet I was still functioning at work and still doing the other things that I did on a day-to-day basis, or what was required to, but it was almost a shell. And to parallel that with the Georgia transplants, or just transplants in general, again, there's no comparison whatsoever, but this just gives a smidget or a glimmer, not even a percent of what a transplant organ donor or recipient goes through. There needs to be compassion, grace, and love when a person goes through that. Georgia Transplant is about education, and that's what Tracy Quantum is about. It's about education and how we can empower the brain. The brain, the way you think, has so much focus on how you feel about yourself and what you do day to day. And it also affects your health and your wellness. There are endorphins that are in your brain when you meditate. And if you can connect to these when you meditate, whether it's for 5 or 10 minutes a day, it enriches your life. Because, we can get into this routine, and it becomes, automatic, where we are recycling these old negative thoughts, and it's like we're in a dream state, or like a YouTube video, and we don't even know how to get out of it, or even stop the video from going. It just keeps playing and playing. And, it's a very inharmonious, it's a disharmonious situation to be in. But you have the tools within you. It's the powers within you. I mean, you have a powerful mind, and you have a untold potential. The key is just to unlock that. Today has been a magnificent event, and we look forward to seeing you again. It's been my honor.